What's up, movie lovers? I'm Mike, and this is Gotta Love Them Movies. Alright, so The Accountant. You'll see later in the review, I'm going to give it a little bit of a lower score. That being said, I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. There was something about the movie that was, it starts off and it kind of like, you have this story and then you have this story and then they kind of converge towards the end. It added, like, there was, like, Ben Affleck's story was really interesting. And then there's also, like, this mystery aspect with J.K. Simmons. That was also really interesting. So it was kind of like a cop mystery, kind of political thriller, but it was also just like this really interesting tale of how this guy with autism figures out numbers and like can really intricately figure stuff out. So it was two different movies kind of mashed into one, but like I said, towards the end, everything comes together and you're like, oh, that was pretty interesting. It was pretty smart the way that they meshed them together. So let's go ahead and break it down. Acting. Everyone's acting was pretty good. Some believable, some not. There were no outstanding performances that wowed me. Ben Affleck is not the most convincing of people with autism. I mean, like, I get it. Like, there are levels and ranges of autism. But there just wasn't something believable. I don't know. I just didn't believe that Ben Affleck had autism. So I'm just going to give acting a 13. Directing. The directing of this film was good. There was a good tone. It had a good pacing to the film. It tries to play into that kind of like mystery. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, who's who? Blah, blah, blah. It was a little, I don't want to say misleading, but it wasn't quite clear what they were doing until the end. Like, Inception was like layered and like all sorts of confusing, and I will even say the same thing about The Usual Suspects. Things were disarranged. Things were arranged differently, and it was created in a way that's supposed to be like, this is supposed to confuse you, and I don't feel like they meant to do that in this film. I don't feel like they were trying to be confusing. It was just kind of confusing. All in all, I'm going to give directing a 14. Writing. So the writing of the film, again, it was one of those things, was like, yeah, it was good. Like, I didn't really have any problem with it. The story itself was very interesting. The two stories that were going on, both halves were very engaging and interesting, and I totally got into it. It steals a lot of elements from other styles of storytelling. Like, there's a little bit of a Jason Bourne element here. There's a little bit of the Intimidation Game. Is that it? The Intimidation Game? The one with Benedict Cumberbatch, that one. Do you remember the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg? There's a little bit of that in here. The movie Firewall with Harrison Ford, there's a lot of, now that you think about it, there's a lot of like movies kind of jam-packed into this altogether. It was interesting the way it was laid out. So for that reason, 15. So the effectiveness. What was the effectiveness of the film? It was trying to make an interesting and engaging mystery thriller that was nuanced, but it didn't really know how to be nuanced. Was it fun? I'd probably watch it again. Not a high rewatchability, not like Deadpool or The Avengers or, something fun and engaging like that, but yeah, I could see it again. So for that reason, I'm going to give you a 15 for effectiveness. But now the overall takeaway of the film, it has a weird morality about it. And I've said this to a few people previously. Most films, I feel like we all share the same morality. Killing is wrong. This movie doesn't really approach that. Like, violence is wrong. It's kind of just like, yeah, sure, okay, cool. Even at the end of the film, it has a very Deadpool moment. And when it happened, I was like, they stole that from Deadpool. Like, and that's all the more I'm going to say. So I went into this film thinking that that I was going to connect with it on a particular level, and I didn't. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what the takeaway of the film is, because the morality of the film was so all over the place. And when you see the movie, you'll understand it's not just the ending. There's a lot of stuff that happens like throughout the middle of the film, in flashbacks, also in present day stuff that you're like, wait, why did, and who is, All I'm saying is that the morality of the film is very, very muddled. And for that reason, I gotta give it an 8. So that gives us an overall total of 65 out of 100.
Look, I don't know what the hell your point is, but I don't...
The point is of no return, and you've reached it. You can still climb in that kiddie car and take a hike. Unless you can fight better than you can drive.
So guys, I want to know what you thought of The Accountant. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at GLT Movies. So guys, if you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that's what Ben Affleck would want you to do. Alright, movie lovers, I'm out of here.